Welcome to the county ground Northampton, the venue for today's Group A match between Sri Lanka and South Africa. The view from the airship tells you that the ground's looking in particularly good nick. The old pavilion in the bottom left of your corner.
John Reid is our match referee today, and he's handing a 50-cent Jamaican coin to Arjuna Ranatunga, who's going to be tossing up. Hansi Cronje has called a tail, and it's come down a head. So Arjuna, you've won the toss. What are you going to do?
We are going to bowl first.
This is a huge match for you after defeat at Lord's.
Yeah, I thought we didn't play too well at Lord's, so we want to forget about everything and try and win this particular game.
And are you making some changes?
Yeah, we have brought back Mahela Javardhan to the side and the leg spinner Chandana to the side.
And what do you think of the pitch?
Which looks little, it looks a good batting track, but it might have little moisture in the morning, so we have to capitalize on that as soon as possible.
Okay, good luck today.
Thanks.
Where's Hansi gone? Here he is. Worried about losing the toss?
No, I think I agree with Arjuna. There's a little bit there this morning, but they've got quite a lot of spinners in there, and we don't mind batting first against their spinners as well.
Well, your side's looking awesome, packed with very good all-round cricketers.
Yeah, well, the guys have been playing well, but whatever happened yesterday is gone. We've got to come here and start again. Still a long way to go in this tournament, and we realise that, and we've got to just take it game by game.
And any changes to your side that beat India?
Yeah, we've got the one change. We're bringing in Stephen Elworthy for Nicky Boyer.
Okay, good luck, Hansi.
Thank you, thanks very much.
Well, Arjuna Ranatunga of Sri Lanka has won the toss, and he's invited South Africa to bat first.
Well, an interesting decision from Arjuna Ranatunga. I wonder if he's got the bowlers to make that decision work. Firstly, let's look at the South African team. Gary Kirsten, although he's out of form, still at the top of the order. Herschel Gibbs, Mark Boucher, he has been informed. Jacques Kallis, the man of the match at Hove against India, the very talented Daryl Cullinan. Then Hansi Cronje, the captain, all-rounder. Jonty Rhodes, who with Lance Klusener saw them through to victory at Hove. Pollock, Elworthy, Donald. So a very good all-round side, South Africa. The Sri Lankans, they've made a couple of changes from Lord's. Adipatu's still at number 3, but Jaya Wardner comes in the middle of the order, and Upal Chandana comes in as well. They're not long on seamers, though, the Sri Lankans, and they want to bowl first.
Here's the first ball. And that'll be wide. Some correspondents have been critical of the strictness of the wide interpretation by the umpires, but I think it's a good thing. Mike Proctor's alongside me. What do you think, Mike?
Morning, Bob. Morning, viewers. Well, I think it's up to the individual umpire. They get their guideline, and Steve Dunn obviously has his. That was certainly down the leg side, wide. Their judgment. Yeah. As South Africa get off the mark, Kirsten, they look for 2 down the fine leg. Shimon Navas, good throw. South Africa off the mark. 1 wide and a couple to Gary Kirsten.
That's beaten mid-on. Nearly all the county grounds around England have very short straight boundaries, and as soon as you beat mid-off and mid-on, you're guaranteed a boundary.
And Wickramasinghe just struggling when he goes over the wicket. He went around the wicket the last 3 deliveries the previous over. He's gone back over the wicket to the left-hander, Gary Kirsten. He over-pitches, and Kirsten plays a good shot. He times it well between the bowler diving and mid-on.
A lovely straight drive again, this time beating mid-off. And Arjuna Ranatunga's not very happy with Wickramasinghe. Well, this is help yourself. And Kirsten's gorging himself.
He didn't look in very good form, Gary Kirsten, in the first match against India at Hove, but goodness me, this is the 3rd 4 in a row, and that is the best. Width from Wickramasinghe. He hit it on the up, and it rattled away to the boundary.
Bowled in. Once again, Gary Kirsten misses out, and at last Sri Lanka get a strike with a new ball. Chaminda Vas bowling Gary Kirsten.
Gary Kirsten dragged one on against India at Hove, and he's done the same thing here. The inside edge, onto the middle and leg stump, and over go the bails, and South Africa lose their first wicket. Kirsten goes, having played exceptionally well the previous over, 3 fours in a row, but he's gone now for 14 or 14 deliveries. South Africa 22 for 1.
Mark Boucher comes in at the fall of the first wicket. Big shout, Buckner waits and gives him out. The batsman's not happy about it, but Steve Buckner didn't hang around. He almost ordered the batsman from his side.
A very disappointed Herschel Gibbs. It's a very wide delivery. Well, if there was any sort of noise, I suppose it would have had to come from the wood, the willow, and the Sri Lankans were pretty confident. So South Africa lose their second wicket with a score on 24.
The in-form Jacques Kallis comes in at number 4 for South Africa.
Bowled him out, Mark Boucher, the third to go. So Sri Lanka right on top here.
Well, the Sri Lankans doing exceptionally well. They relied a lot on these two seamers, having won the toss and asked South Africa to bat first. It was up to Wickramasinghe and Vast to do the damage, and that's a great delivery. It's come back sharply, through the gate, clipped the top of the off stump. Well bowled indeed. So no doubt those celebrations will continue for a while. Boucher on his way for 1, and it's 24 for 3.
Daryl Cullinan coming to the crease. Into the covers, he'll have to hurry. He does. Now, this is an interesting situation. It's hit Jacques Kallis, so out of etiquette, he doesn't run. But the umpire, as far as I know about the laws of the game, has to signal 5. He's asking. I don't think he has an option but to signal 5. Can you correct me on that, David, or?
I can't correct you, no. I mean, it was completely inadvertent. Kallis trying to make his ground, is entitled to do that. If there were anything intentional about it, okay, maybe there would be some recourse. But the fact that it's just hit him, I say there's absolutely no intention. He's just struggled to make his ground. He's carried on. The ball's been thrown. It's harsh. And as you say, Robin, had the ball not reached the boundary, they'd have settled comfortably just for the 1 and no harm done. But I'm afraid that's the way the rules, the laws of the game are written.
Waiting.
Cullinan will feel that he missed out just a little bit there. Nice and full and a little bit of width. That's a great shot.
Well, this is typical Daryl Cullinan. He really is a lovely stroke maker. And he got the chance there, full and wide. And this time got the full face of the bat on it. Kept that face open. We saw one earlier where he closed the face on the shot and mistimed it. This couldn't have been better.
It's worthwhile remembering that in rugby union, South Africa are world champions at the moment. They'd dearly love to be world champions in cricket too. Thick outside edge. Chaminda Vast does an excellent job. He's certainly saved 2 runs there.
Well, the fielding has improved remarkably over the last 5 or 6 years. And in World Cup cricket, of course, there is some wonderful displays around. And Chaminda Vast, opening bowler, certainly throwing his body around for his team and showing great commitment here. Jacques Kallis turning quickly, seeing the fumble and able to come back for the second.
too short and smashed away by Daryl Cullinan. And that 4 will bring up the 50 for South Africa in the 14th over.
Well, Daryl Cullinan's just one of those players who has that little bit of extra time. Anything that's marginally short, he can dispatch with ease.
Once again, outside Callis's drive. Well taken. At last, some success for Pramodya Wickramasinghe. He's been very expensive in recent matches, but his figures are looking better now. 2 for 31 in his 8th over.
Mahanama, the catcher at second slip low. That's a very, very fine catch. And what a big blow that is for South Africa. Jacques Kallis, one of the Moon, has been in outstanding form of late departs. And South Africa now 53 for 4.
54 for 4.
He reached the second fastest 50 in Test cricket against this very man bowling at the moment at Centurion Park. And there he goes, just short. Have to hurry for the second. It's a good throw, and that's tight. That is very tight indeed. Steve Buckner, the umpire, has asked for the third umpire to come and play, and Hansi Cronje looks very concerned indeed.
Well, this will be a major blow to the South African captain and the South Africans, because they know how well he hits off spinners. Credit must go to the fielder. It's a most fantastic throw from Jayawardena.
Took on the fielder down at backward square leg. It's a beautiful throw, and he's gone. He's a mile out. Don't know what the delay is.
Really interesting, seeing it from the pan eye, the camera square. He's 1.5 meters out. Earlier shot that we saw, it looked as if he was maybe a foot out. That's the difference of getting the cameras at the right angles. And now, apart from a disappointment just for the batsman, the dressing room will be devastated with that. It's 60 out for 4. The last words I said to you was 69 for 4. Error, 69 for 5. New batsman, Jonty Rhodes.
Keep going, boys. One more. Let's work hard.
It's a leg by. Or was there some bat on it? Some bat on it. So Jonty Rhodes off the mark.
Cullinan doesn't middle that anything like, that it just clears mid-on. Aravinda De Silva gives chase. And the South Africans have run 3 well there, because he didn't get hold of it at all.
Daryl Cullinan knowing that mid-on and mid-off are up, and he doesn't time that. He just rolls the wrists a bit quick, and it just clears mid-on. But that's positive play by Cullinan, and a pretty comfortable 3.
All good running.
When Jonty Rhodes is at the crease, goodness me, everyone's got to be awake, particularly the non-striker Daryl Cullinan.
The 1 here, 2. And Aravinda didn't make much progress on that ball. So good over this.
A big over so far for South Africa.
Waiting.
That'll be a couple more. No. Yes. Misfield. Decided against it. Saw the misfield. 2 runs.
Just looked up a fraction early.
Occasionally gets to one to straighten. They're going to look for 2 here. Rose deciding against it, and wisely so. Tremendous Vos running in very quickly from long off.
One down to long off.
The reverse sweep, and it's a good one. It's beaten De Silva, I think it is, at backward point. And that's gone all the way. Jonty Rhodes improvises, and very effectively. That's over slips, and that'll go all the way. 4 more valuable runs for South Africa. I would think that anything over 200, the way this wicket has behaved, if it continues to behave the same way, South Africa will feel they're in with a great chance.
That single was so well spotted. The bowler did a brilliant bit of fielding to save 4. That's a beautiful shot from Cullen, and he knows that he doesn't have to run, and that brings up the South African 100. Also closes down the over. 28 gone, 103 now for 5.
That's in the air, and it should be out. It is. Comfortable catch. Joe Saria, the catcher, and that really is a big wicket. Jonty Rhodes departs. And South Africa now in big trouble here at 103 for 6.
Well, it's been the great thing from the Sri Lankan point of view. They've kept taking wickets throughout this innings. Every time the South Africans thought they might have been gaining momentum, something happens, and this time it's a top edge from Jonty Rhodes, not able for once to get on top of it. Presenting a very simple catch for Jayasuriya. Jonty Rhodes gone for 17. It's 103 for 6.
So 103 for 6 now, the vice-captain, Sean Pollock, who hasn't had that many opportunities of late. He strides the crease. He's a very clean hitter of the ball. That's well worked. Vacant gap. They'll certainly get 2. They'll probably come back for the 3rd. He won't cut it off. Well, I thought he was going to get there, but 4 runs to Daryl Cullen, and that was very much needed by South Africa. They need to just get that momentum up a little bit. Well, there is a shout from the Sri Lankan fielders. It hit Ranatunga, obviously in the shin. The question is, did it bounce before it went back to the bowler, Muralitharan? Now, the umpires are conferring Steve Dunn and Steve Buckner. Which reminds me of a situation that you might have been involved in, David, some years ago. It has been referred to the 3rd umpire.
But why not? Firmly struck by Sean Pollock. As far as I could see there, it went straight into the ground. But I think initial impression, unless I'm going absolutely gaga, it's gone hard into the ground. That's what's given it the little bit of lift. It's gone off the boot and then into the hands. So that's not out.
Well, this is taking a long time, that's for sure. I think we've seen half a dozen replays, and to me, all have been conclusive that the ball has gone into the ground. Ken Palmer just making sure he is 100% certain before he presses the right button. There's no doubt that Sean Pollock knows it's not out. Here's another look. It all happens fairly quickly, of course, in normal time. And I think that's once again a clear indication that contact with the ground and then the shin.
He's timed it perfectly, and now unbelievably despite any number of replays, and we're absolutely in no doubt in this commentary box that the ball has bounced from the bat and then onto the boot. Somehow, the third umpire, Kenny Palmer, is of completely the opposite opinion. Sean Pollock is given out for 2. It's taken an absolute age to make the decision. Well, Hansi Cronje is entitled to be spitting blood at this stage, not chewing oranges.
I bet it's a sour orange. Oh, Lance Klusener not wasting any time at all, and he's got off the mark with a boundary eventually.
Well, great shot. Whatever he was thinking while that decision was being taken, eventually having to walk out and decide what to do in this the match in the condition it is at the moment, he's just hammered it.
Oh, yes. Good stuff, Murali.
He's gone. Will try to go over the top. Has he made it? I don't think so. Tamin Navas has taken a wonderful, wonderful catch. The question is, did he go over the rope? Well, the third umpire, Ken Palmer, has been used a great deal already today. And they're going to have to use him again, I think. Umpires, the 2 Steves, once again going over for a chat. It was a magnificent grab. It looked like it was going well over his hands. And Daryl Cullen on 49 certainly was adventurous.
Caught it. And now he's disposed of it. The law says that he must have control over the further disposal of the cricket ball for the catch to be complete.
Well done, Chicken!
It would have been good if it had gone back on the stumps and Elworthy was found out of his ground. Slashed away by Klusener for...
Well, we saw Wickramasinghe go for early boundaries when he took the new ball. This is a dreadful comeback from him. A real loosener, short and wide of off stump. Klusener's a hard hitter and a very capable batsman, make no mistake about that.
Yes, come on! Yes! Come
Well,
on!
the yes come on from Elworthy was an incorrect call because it went straight to the fielder. In the end, he's going to get 4 for it.
Well, I was just saying Sri Lanka's fielding isn't a top draw. They've done well for the most part today.
Cut away and cut away hard. Always had the beating of third man.
Well, yes, Saravinda de Silva's not going to win any 100-metre sprints these days.
Oh, and he's hit that very hard. It's wonderfully fielded by Mahanama. Wide called, and the 150 comes up.
Now, at this stage, we're looking at the possibility of a final total of something maybe around 180. Well, that's going to go very fine. And all the way. Jayasuriya couldn't catch it. So 4 runs. As I was saying, we're looking at a total here of maybe 180, 190. And if things go well, 200. He's gone. Well, it just took a moment or two for Steve Buckner to confirm the opinions of the bowler and the keeper that Steve Elworthy had got a tiny little nick on that. The 9th wicket goes down. It was one of those balls angled across by the left arm seamer.
Quick delivery from Chaminda Vas. A little edge from Steve Elworthy. Bounce, carries through nicely to the keeper. And there's disappointment for South Africa. Elworthy gone for 23. South Africa 166 for 9.
Coming through for the single this time. Beating the throw from Sana Jayasuriya.
I don't know whether he beat the throw. I think if it had been a direct hit, David, he might have been found wanting. Let's have a look. I'm afraid he would have been gone had it hit. It didn't.
Tempting. The original line of the ball would have taken it past leg stump, I'm sure.
I don't think Jayasuriya gets this one to straighten. Certainly pitched on and keeps going, and that would have missed leg.
That's beautifully struck, and that is absolutely dead straight. No chance at all for Vikramasinghe to come round and cut it off. Aravinda was at long off, and he didn't bother moving much either. Good smack. Just a fraction short. It was, again, the attempt to get the Yorker in there. It's a thankless task bowling at this stage of an innings, even when there are 9 wickets down. That's a big hit. Nicely placed too. One bounce, skidding into the crowd. Already 10 off the over. There are 2 deliveries left. Full toss, that's going to go in much the same direction, but just that bit further. Well, I wonder if this is going to make the difference at the end of the day.
Huge over for South Africa. 16 off it so far.
Straight down the ground. Will it carry? Yes, it does. Well, what a way both to finish the innings off and to pass the 50 mark individually. Lance Klusener moves on to 52 not out from 45 deliveries, and roundly applauded both from the South African dressing room balcony and from all around the ground.
What an innings. That really was superb, Lance Klusener. He did judge that so well. 52 not out, 45 deliveries, 5 fours and 2 sixes in the last over. His timing was perfect, both in terms of his innings and the way he hit the ball. So Sri Lanka will require 200 to win.
So, what a dramatic day it's been so far. The target for Sri Lanka to win this match, 200, exactly 250 overs, dead on 4 runs per over. And, well, after Kalavitarana. Well, these are stroke makers, to say the least. It should be a fascinating contest to see how the early overs of this innings go. The sun is out, conditions are good.
So 200 to win here. Sean Pollock, who does a job so well for South Africa, taking the new ball. Gives very little away, but this really is going to be an interesting challenge for Jayasuriya. 2 slips, catching. And 3 in the covers. Now, Sean Pollock has the ability to bowl so well to left-handers. There's no doubt he will get some movement off this deck. So he's off the mark. They'll look for 2. And complete the second quite comfortably. Look outside edge. Worthy again at third man. They're coming back for the second. And in the end, comfortably home. Jayasuriya darting across the track, which isn't the greatest running you'll see, but no real drama. Oh, that's a terrific delivery. Pitching around about off stump and going away, and also just dying a little bit. It's got hold of that one. That's in front of square. He picked it up very early indeed and dispatched it. That's a fine stroke.
Well, Callis has let his captain down here. What's the point of placing a third slip if you can hold a delivery like that?
He's caught eventually by Daryl Cullinan. A little bit of a parry, but got it on the second grab. It was a healthy nick from Kalu. It went very quickly indeed. Damage this time with a better length ball.
Well, Kalu was always going to give it everything. It went very, very quickly to Cullinan. He could only parry it at first, but fortunately for him, it went up rather than down. And he had a chance to grab it second time. Quick reactions. Thank you very much. End of Kaluwitana for 5. It's 12 for 1.
Marvin Atapatu, number 3 batsman for Sri Lanka. Now he's just got pretty much a basic technique. He stands up to the quick bowlers. Keen to get off the mark, and eventually he does. Marshall Gibbs not quite able to get to it as he covered a lot of ground. Moved it backward square, so he's off the mark for 1. And he's chopped it on. Middle stomp out the ground, so Jacques Collis has picked up another wicket. 2 wickets in this over, and Sri Lanka now in a bit of trouble at 13 for 2.
Well, South Africa looked out of this match when their 9th wicket went down, but they're answering back in the way only they can. They're beautifully equipped with this seam attack. Inside edge onto middle stump, dramatic dismissal. So the 2 pinch hitters have gone at the top of the order. It's 13 for 2.
1.
So Aravinda Silva, number 4 batsman, now he's at the crease a lot earlier than what he would have anticipated. 13 for 2, chasing 200 to win Sri Lanka. A big shout from Daryl Cullinan at first slip. Sean Pollock wasn't too excited, neither was umpire Steve Dunn from New Zealand.
Well, bowler and umpire had a clear view of how high the ball was. The guys behind the stumps wouldn't have known that.
And it's been put down by Lance Klusener. It would have been a very good catch. It was a sharp catch, but these days international standard slippers should take those. So there's a little bit of a life for Aravinda Silva.
Well, Cronje deserved the reward. He did his bit by placing the fielder there. Klusener couldn't hang on, went very quickly, hard to his right.
Inside edge, it hasn't carried, it has. Mark Boucher's up, so there's another wicket to Jacques Collis, and he has ripped the heart out of this top order. South Africa very much on top at the moment, and that's a big wicket. Marvin Atapatu is a very fine player.
And a very good catch. These are very, very difficult to take. Keeper is always first looking for the inside edge, but Boucher moves quickly to his left, takes it low down. South Africa were in the cart, and now Sri Lanka are there too. It's 14 for 3.
Has been known to open the batting quite a lot for Sri Lanka, particularly in the longer version of the game, the 5-day game. So that's the end of another very, very good over from Jacques Collis. He really is hitting the bat. Sri Lanka, 14 for 3. Sean Pollock. Big shout from Daryl Cullinan and Sean Pollock in particular. Steve Dunn says not out, but it wasn't too far away. After changing commentary, Mike Proctor and now Robin Jack.
That was very close to the leg stump, which maybe justified the appeal before. Big appeal this time, and that is out. Pollock strikes again, and Sri Lanka have lost their 4th wicket.
And that's the man South Africa want out, Aravinda Silva. A little shake of the head. The man who steered Sri Lanka to the World Cup victory. That comes back. De Silva, as we saw from the previous delivery, he does tend to drift across his stumps. Huge appeal by the South Africans, and why not? De Silva gone for one, 14 for 4 now.
Big appeal. Well, I'd like to see that one again.
Well, goodness me, this is right in the block hole. He's got his left foot on the popping crease. He's in front of middle and off, and I think he's a lucky young man to still be there.
Another big appeal. Umpire Bucknell not interested. Ranatunga wants 2. And Mahanama has to hurry. Perfect delivery. But Mr. Dunn says no. Big appeals from the back. Boucher not happy. He certainly thought he heard him nick it. Ellis is down.
Stay.
He really does just put some effort in, does Jack Callis.
That's when they lost 3 runs for just 3 wickets, just 2 runs in 20 deliveries. Sri Lanka 23 for 4.
It's a nice little prospect for the Sri Lankan batsmen. They've been hopping around all the way through the first 13, and now one of the fastest bowlers in the world is about to be unleashed on them. Over the top, down towards third man. It's going to be 4 runs though. Now this is the danger. It's exciting stuff. If you pitch too short and someone like Arjuna Ranatunga gets the ball over the slips, well, there could be a lot of runs here, but if you hit a length, it's going to be tough work for the left-hander.
A good pace first up from Donald. We've seen Jacques Kallis bowl extremely quickly so far in this match, and I think Donald will have a yard on him, so it is going to be a fascinating encounter.
That's the edge. Straight away, Donald into the action with a wicket. That was a far better length than the previous delivery. And Arjuna Ranatunga unable, it seems, to do anything but steer it into the gloves of Mark Boucher.
Well, Alan Donald doesn't like taking the new ball because he says he can't control it. Well, it's still fairly new and fairly hard, and his first 2 deliveries have been spot on. This one to Ranatunga was perfect. Good pace, perfect line, just going away, a bit of a tickle, and Boucher again taking it at around about shoulder height. So the captain goes, and Sri Lanka's problems continue. 31 for 5.
Strangely enough, there's a smile on the face of Mahela Jayawardene as he comes to the crease with Sri Lanka 31 for 5. Doesn't really matter which graph you look at either, the story very much the same. Just look at that South African innings of the final over, 22 that cost. Lance Klusener, the aggressor, that might have made a difference, but the way the Sri Lankan innings has gone, it's almost superfluous. 5 wickets are down. Runs have been very hard to come by for the Sri Lankans. It's 35 for 5. Jonty Rhodes leaping away to his left at point. 2,000 volts seem to course through Jonty's veins all the time. That's a fine shot. That's a rare gem in this Sri Lankan innings. That's a good shot. A little bit too full this time. Outfield is quick enough. 4 runs to Mahela Jayawardene.
And Jay Warden is the first Sri Lankan batsman to move into double figures. Elworthy has been consistently bowling outside the line of off stump. This one a little bit full and a little bit straight. And as you can imagine, with 3 catches in the slips, there's not too many men in the mid-on area to try and stop that boundary, but very well timed. Didn't try and hit it too hard, and just stroked through it.
Firmly struck again. And suddenly in the last few minutes, a few boundaries have come for the Sri Lankans. The 50 is now up. It's 53 for 5.
So that's up and over. That'll race away down for 4. This partnership's developed to 26 now. Sri Lanka aren't dead and buried yet.
Certainly not. So it's just not wickets in hand. That run rate's also creeping up.
Yes, that's wide. Donald knows he got that one all wrong.
Donald looking for that extra pace, firing it down the leg side. Mark Boucher having to show his agility.
10 extras now in a very modest total of 62 for the loss of 5. And there's the 11th. Good stop.
Good fielding by Steve Elworthy.
Wow, what a soft dismissal. Jai Wardner looks at the pitch. Jack Callis is a tall man, but he caught that very comfortably. A disappointment.
Just as these Sri Lankans were getting back into this match, Steve Elworthy strikes with a poorish shot, that. Trying to drive on the up. It's come off the splice. And that's 66 for 6.
Upal Chandana, very capable batsman. He'll need to be in this situation. His side need a further 134 at just under 5 and over. Too much movement, I think.
Too much movement, and I think there was a bit of bat on this as well. I think it was the inside edge. If it wasn't for that, he might have been pretty plumb. Let's have a look. Yeah, inside edge.
Past the outside edge. That's halfway for Sri Lanka. They're 73 for 6. Here's Klusener. Up in the air. Lucky to find the gap. One more to this very small total. Takes Sri Lanka on to 80 for 6.
Pulled that away. You don't have to run. 4 runs. Caught by Cullinan, who has just gone there from slip. So credit to Cronje, and the 7th wicket falls.
Upal Chandana, the man on his way back disconsolately. What he's done basically is lean back on the shot. He's hit on the up a bit, it's wide of off stump. But with the pace of the pitch, the pace of the bowling, he hasn't got over the ball. Playing it on the up, off the back foot, straight at Daryl Cullinan, who's got a wonderful pair of hands. He's gone for 9. It's 86 for 7.
Chimendavas, the man at the crease now. Not the worst player in the world by any manner of means. Beautifully driven through the covers. And that ends the over, 96-7. It's a good shot. Klusener, the fielder, throws one bounce into Boucher. Difficult circumstances these are to bat in. So David Garr wouldn't have had as much experience as I. That's up in the air and into the safe hands of Pollock at mid-off. So a second fairly soft wicket, really. The last 2 to fall have been attempted drives. So 8 down now.
Yes, a little bit over-ambitious, I'm afraid. Not off the meat of the bat, completely mistimed. Nice, simple catch for Shaun Pollock. No heroics, I'm afraid, from Chaminda Vaas. He's gone for 1. It's 8 down for 98. Well, Pramodia Vikramasinghe did a good job with the ball this morning.
Good thinking, Shaun.
That is the Sri Lankan 100.
That's it.
100 to win in 17 overs. That's nicely timed. I don't know that it'll get all the way to the boundary. Pollock in pursuit. Turned for the third and completed it fairly comfortably.
This is a very presentable cricket ground these days with the new developments. Well, Steve Dunn's going to ask, I think, that Mahanama got home.
So many batsmen throughout world cricket get caught out by Jonty Rhodes. On his feet quickly, perfect throw right next to the bails, but the batsman safely home.
A little bit.
Brilliant fielding again. Interestingly, Rhodes going for that ball with both hands.
Yeah, I think that's one of the secrets of Jonty Rhodes. We often see some other brilliant fielders in that area around the world going one-handed and diving. Look at Jonty getting 2 hands to it, doesn't get past his grip. And once again, he just has that superb balance.
Wowee.
Well, that look says it all. I'm not too sure how that one missed. I think it might have pitched it around about middle and off. Went the other way. And just over the top of off stump. Remarkable bowling.
A little bit optimistic, the leg side flick. Off the edge, but he'll get a run this time.
Bit of a spread in the South African field. Daryl Cullinan moves from the slips to extra cover region. Gary Kirsten, who was fielding the covers, has now moved to the sweeper on the offside. Trying to keep Mahanama off the strike.
And he's out this time. He's played well forward. Mahanama takes a second look, but he's out. LBW. Sri Lanka 9 down, and surely the chance of winning this match has gone now. 110 for 9, Sri Lanka.
Stump to stump, he gets in so close to Shaun Pollock, and not really a big stride, hitting on the roll of the pad. And umpire Steve Dunn was very quick up with that left hand. Shaun Pollock, a big appeal from him, and there's the delight on his face. So that's the 9 width to go, and Mahanama goes for 36. So 1 wicket in hand now for Sri Lanka. Muralitharan is the number 11 batsman. And I'm not too sure he knows how to play too many defensive shots. We've seen him be very aggressive in any situation, as is this man with the ball in his hand right now, Lance Klusener. that's the end of the game. Lance Klusener picks up the last wicket, and it's a comprehensive victory to South Africa.
I don't think that's all that Lance Klusener will pick up today. I would have thought the man of the match adjudicator shouldn't have too many problems in finding him a serious influence on this match. The favourites, having looked in enormous trouble this morning with the assistance of some very strange decisions that we are still trying to fathom out up here, have recovered brilliantly. They've got everything right from the word go in terms of team selection. They've played an all-pace attack on a pitch that I hopelessly misread this morning, and a happy South African camp applaud their players off the field, and justly so. It's been a really powerful performance from them, and Sri Lanka